You're welcome to Code Jargon. If today is your first time watching our videos or the first time seeing our channel, please kindly subscribe to our channel and also turn on the notification button so that when we upload new videos, you'll be notified and also you can watch that video. We don't want to leave anyone behind. Thank you very much. In today's video, we are going to look at typography in Compose UI. When you talk about the typography, it's not something difficult or a huge word. We are talking about how we can customize the appearance of our text, how we want our text to show in our app. And using of the typography, it helps you to apply one style to multiple text or different text in your app so that editing the text style won't be difficult. You don't need to open your files one by one and then change the style. So I'm going to show you how to use a typography in your app. But first, let's see how we can use the text properties in our app, and then how we can also use typography to replace the text properties and also try to make changes to the text that we are going to use in our app. So for now, let's create let's create two functions. So let's create the one with normal text. Okay, so compose UI. So you have to use a composable function. Okay, so let's make it normal text. Okay, and then let's create another function again. And then let's have composable. Let's make this one typography test. Okay, so oh sorry, function typography test. There you go. So now let's remove this test and then let's call this test. So we are using the column layout. Okay, so we want to show it in we want to show the data inside the column layout vertically. So we call the first one here. Okay, then we give it a spacer. So they want to provide a space in between the two. So we give it height. Then let's make it 50 dp. Let's import our dp. Let's import our dp. Okay, so now let's call our typography here. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to add test component to each of the functions here. So let's add the test. This is code jogging classes with no typography. Okay, so let's copy the same test and then let's make this one with typography. So now let's look at this one first. We want to make the font size we want to make it, let's assume we want to make it 40 sp. That's, you have to use sp for the font size. We want to make the font weight, let's make it bold or black. Okay, then we want to make the color, let's make it green. Okay, then we want to make it text align, let's make it default. Okay, so now now we are going to use all these properties. Okay, so let's use these properties. Let's run our app, then let's see the results. So this is test component without any typography. Okay. So let's wait for our code to run and then let's see the output. Yes, So the first one is this is code jogging classes with no typography. Yes, so this is what we've done. So what if you want to, let's surround this one with column layout. Okay, now we have this, and let me add a scroll button. Let me add a scroll to the column layout. So modifier, you can watch the column layout tutorials to understand the modifiers we are adding to it. Then we can add sorry, vertical scroll. Remember scroll state. Yes. So meaning that we are, let's remove this one so that we can start from the top. Now we are making our div scrollable or our column scrollable. So let's try and see. Now we have 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, now we want to change the font size. We want to change the font size in our project here. That's the green one. That's the one with no typography. Changing the font style here, it means that we have to visit the text component that we've applied the same style to, and then change the font size one after the other. Okay, so imagine you are having about thousands of text components with this properties. It means that we have to visit all the 1,000 components, and at times it might even skip to you because you might not remember all the test components you've used unless you run your app, and then when you're going through then realize that, hey, no, I didn't change this property, so let me go back to my source code, let me change it, rebuild your app, and then upload it to the Google Play Store again. Okay, so now let's try that one. Then see, you have to change this one to, let's say, 25. So let's change this to 25. We have to do it manually. So 25, let's run our code, and you realize that we've not changed the last one. So the last one will still be 40. Yes. So let's change this one to 25 again. And now, here we go. Yes. So we have to change it. Now let's look at the use of the typography in our project. Okay. So let me delete this one, or let me comment this one. Okay. Let me collapse the function. Let me see how the reason why the function. Let me see. Okay. Sorry. Yes. So let me collapse this one. Let me run the code again. Okay. So now we are going to apply typography to our test components here. So let's move this one to the next line. Okay, so for us to add a typography to our test component, you have to call style. Okay, and then we type typography. Now you can see the IntelliSense popping up the typography. You can double click on it. Dot, then it gives you access to the default typography in our project. Okay, so we can use body large. Now we've added typography to our project. Let's run the project here, or let's run the project here and then see the output. If the text will still be the same. Yes. Now we have our typography here. So let's call the column layout and then have multiple text components with the same typography. Okay, so we have 3 here. Let's run it and see if you have the same typography here. Yes. So let's let me add spaces to it. So height, that's my favorite way of adding spaces to it, but we can use the modifier spacings too. So let's add 10 dp, and then okay, so let's run our code again. Okay, so now for us to update or change our um, typography properties, that's the body large, we have to go to the theme folder, that's this folder. Okay, then we open the type. Okay, so let's check the properties here, that's the theme, and look at the typography they are using. Okay, so this is where they are using the typography. So when you click on it, this is the typography that is using. So it's not like once you are in the type folder and you are seeing the typography here, then it has been applied to your project. No, you have to make sure that you've opened the theme file here and go to the material theme here and check the typography, what file or what variable they've assigned it to. And if you want to know more properties, then we can put the cursor on the name and then the IntelliSense will pop up something for you to read. Okay, so now we know that any changes you make here will apply to our typography. So now what we are going to do is, instead of having the font style, the font weight normal, we are going to have black. So let's run. When we change it to black and run our code, it will apply to the whole text component that we have. The text component that has the style property typography of, let's say, body large. That's the body large is here. Okay, and we can also change the font size to let's say 40 sp without changing the font size of each text component individually. Okay, so whatever changes we do here, since we've applied this typography to the text component here, any changes we will do will take effect here. So for example, we can come here and then give it a color. Okay, so the color we can change it to, let's say red. Okay, so we can change the color to red. Yes, and it will apply to all uh the text field with that property. So yes, we have line height here, we can give it 70 so that there will be at least a line between each of the words. Yes, okay, yes. So now this is how typography can help you to write your code faster. Instead of hard coding everything, you can create one property, or you can create a test style with a lot of properties that you want. You want it to cut across all your text components in your project. Okay, so now I believe you've now known the reason why it's advisable to use typography in your Android app instead of hard coding the properties in your project. Okay, so now I believe this is what we are supposed to know in the typography in Compose UI. In case you have any questions or you have any suggestions or you need help on your project, you can comment on this video. Okay, and also you can send us a suggestions or any help that you need through the channel email address, and once we receive it, we'll reach out to you and then see how we can help you out. And also, if you have any suggestions that can help us to improve on this channel to provide quality content and also deliver quality lessons, please kindly reach out to us and then we'll look at it and then also attend to your suggestions. Thank you for watching this video, and kindly subscribe to our channel and also turn on the notification button so that you won't miss any video from us. See you in our next video. Bye bye.